everyone, and welcome to this masterclass on essential oils for mood support. My name is Bree, and I'm going to be with you for about 35 to 40 minutes talking to you about how to use essential oils to support your general well-being and mood, especially during the COVID-19. So before we start, if you have any essential oils next to you, I just ask you to kind of go in and take a sniff of a bottle from your bottle if you have any. If you don't, that's also okay. Just take a moment to really try and hone in on why you're taking this particular class. I would just urge you to take what you need from this particular masterclass. So it's set up in a workshop style. We're going to have a bit of theory and some practical moments where applicable to show you how to use essential oils for mood support. I'm also going to be sharing my screen. And if you hear a little bit of funny noises in the background, don't mind me. It's part of the perks of working from home. Again, welcome and thank you for joining me in this session. And yeah, let's dive right in. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen right about here. Okay, I think that's about it. And here we go. Excellent. So I want to shout out Ikigai Co-working Spaces for partnering with me in bringing you this wellness workshop. Be sure to check out some of their work from home options just to kind of help you stay connected and productive during this new way of doing things. Like I said, the topic today is essential oils for mood support, and I'm really excited because this class is for everyone, whether you're a newbie in essential oils, whether you know what they are or you don't know what they are, whether you've been using oils for years. There is something for everyone, and I just invite you to take what you need. I'm going to be sharing a lot of information. I'm trying to pack in as much useful information as I possibly can in about 30 minutes. So just take what you need so that you also don't end up feeling overwhelmed by everything that's going on. So a little bit about me. My name is Bree, like I've said, and I have a passion and love for essential oils that has gone back about 8 years. And in my free time, I'm normally thinking about how else can you use essential oils? What else is there to know? I'm always creating blends and stuff like that. And there goes some of the birds. Don't mind us. I also facilitate and teach essential oil-based workshops, which are just little intimate gatherings where people come to learn how to use oils for different things, from wellness to emotional wellness to physical wellness. You name it, we cover it. So this class the main purpose of this class really is about empowering you. I want you to know that there are natural solutions to help you manage your mood during this time. And by the time we're done, I want you to know what essential oils are, to have a bit of understanding around the science behind scent and mood and how they interact with our bodies. I'm going to show you 2 specific ways that you can use essential oils to support your mood. And I'm going to give you a very general guideline that will help you be confident in your choice of essential oils so that you can know which oils to choose when. And then we're also going to talk about different types of essential oils. I'm going to share with you some of my absolute favorites for supporting mood. So let's just begin very generally. I'm going to be looking around from here to there. So I've got my oils in one corner, I've got my notes on another, I've got my diffuser running on this side. So I'll be all over the place, right? And so we're going to start with what exactly are essential oils? You know how when you peel an orange and you have the orangey smell on your hands? That's the example of an essential oil at work. Very, very basic example, but it's true. So an essential oil is the essence of a plant, and it's the source of a plant's flavor and aroma. It's a very critical part of the plant's immune system because its work is to kind of protect the plant from diseases and to ward off predators. And that's why you'll find that many essential oils are antimicrobial, antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral, because they have a very important role to play in keeping a plant healthy. And so a few things to note about the interaction between plants and human beings is that in certain cultures, the word plant loosely translates to those that are here in service to protect us. And it's been said that if human beings were to be wiped off the face of the earth, plants would survive for about 3 or 4 days or slightly longer. And if all plants were to be wiped off from the face of the earth, human beings would only survive for 3 days. So it goes to show you that plants and human beings have a very symbiotic relationship. So what makes essential oils? Essential oils are two very peculiar characteristics. One, they're aromatic, and so they have a smell, a scent, a fragrance. And then two, they're volatile, meaning they evaporate very quickly at room temperature. Now, it's important to kind of note at this point that we have different grades of essential oils. So we've got on one end of the spectrum, fragrance essential oils, which are just there for scent. And most of them are normally adulterated and have synthetics added to them for whatever reason. And then we have got therapeutic grade essential oils, which are literally the highest grade of essential oils that are available to us to help us in healing. And then we've got everything else in between. Now, what will make an essential oil therapeutic comes down primarily to its chemical composition, because essential oils are made up of tiny, tiny molecules, and these molecules belong to different classes of chemical compounds, and these chemical compounds have very specific functions and properties that they do, right? And so the other thing to note about essential oils is that they're very, very potent. So they're up to 50 times stronger than their herbal equivalent, and 1 or 2 drops is roughly equivalent to an entire cup of tea. So what this means is that you should respect essential oils and treat them like you would medicine, and at the same time, less is more. So sometimes it gets to a point where if you're using up to 10 drops of essential oils, you're just actually wasting. Literally, sometimes you'd rather err on the side of caution and use less than try to use excess essential oils, right? So we're getting into one of my favorite parts, and this is now where we get to understand the general characteristics of essential oils. I want to just be very clear that this is a generalization, and that within each classification, when you get into the individual essential oils, they have different individual chemical properties, which kind of makes it's like that's where the line is drawn. And now we're all citruses, for example, yes, but I'm an orange citrus and you're a lime citrus and you're a grapefruit citrus. And because of these differences and variations, their uses may not necessarily be the same. So what I'm going to do for this next section is just give you a general idea, general guideline of what the oils tend to do. And we're going to relate this from the parts of the oil that they're made of and the role they play in the plant and how that translates to the human body. So we start with citruses. You know how when you peel an orange and you just have this happy oranges and limes and lemons are just like really, really happy, even though sometimes lemons can tend to be a little bit bitter. But generally when you peel a tangerine, for example, and you're just so happy because they just smell so good and you can't help but smile along when you have an orange with you. So citrus oils are literally happy oils. They're sunshine in a bottle. And when you think of what terms to describe citruses, you've got things like inspiring, uplifting, refreshing, exhilarating, stimulating, and energizing. And so they're generally composed of monoterpenes, which gives them that light characteristic, and that the fact that all citruses are really good for cleansing and detoxifying. Now, when would you use a citrus essential oil? You'd use it best in the morning, or when you need a quick pick-me-up, or when you need a really quick energy boost. And so picking something like orange or tangerine when you're feeling down in the dumps or diffusing it, you'll eventually just find yourself like really cheering up and being happy and just taking on that whole vibes that the citruses carry around them. Now, the thing to note about citruses is that they oxidize easily, which means then that they have a very short shelf life and they are phototoxic, which means you don't want to put a citrus oil on your skin and go out into the sun, because it's going to increase your sensitivity to sunlight. And so the best way to use the oils would be to diffuse it, or to use it in your shower, or to use it in the evening. But don't use a citrus oil and go out into the sun unless you want to get burnt. So let's go on to floral oils. And when you think of flowers, you think of celebration, you think of beauty, you think of something very delicate, you think of things that are feminine and romance. And look at how flowers are used in celebrations like weddings, or even in somber occasions like funerals, to bring comfort to the bereaved families. So floral essential oils are really comforting, and they're calming, and they're reassuring in nature, and they are composed mainly of esters, which gives them that emotional quality, right? And so you would use a floral oil when you want to nurture and take extra care of yourself emotionally. And some of the best ways to do that is just to kind of really roll a floral oil on your heart. And some of my favorite oils are things like jasmine and magnolia, rose, neroli, lavender, clary sage, and geranium. And in addition to, just being like really beautiful, emotionally comforting and reassuring, they're very good for the skin. So let's talk about leaf oils. When you smell eucalyptus, lemon eucalyptus, they are the one thing that you would pick up from a leaf oil almost immediately is that they smell like medicine. That's one. And then the next thing is that they tend to have this opening effect. So when you smell eucalyptus, which I believe I have here, for example, immediately I feel an immediate sense of relaxation. And especially if you're stressed out and you have a lot of things and you need to look after yourself, a leaf oil is good to give you that moment of woosah, so that things are really not that serious, so you kind of want to take a breather. I would use a leaf oil when you feel really constricted and stuck and you just need to breathe again. So leaf oils are generally composed of ketones, and they have a very strong and penetrating scent, and which means some of their characteristics are they're very refreshing, clarifying, and energizing, which helps with enhancing your focus. And mints in particular are really fresh. So we've got some peppermint right about here. And if you've smelled, peppermint is one of those scents that are just so strong, but it's such a cool smell. And when you smell, you're like, oh yeah, nice. You feel like a sense of clarity and clearing has already gone through you. We move on to spice oils. Spice oils are unmistakable and they're undeniable. So when you go somewhere and somebody's brewing cardamom or ginger tea, you're like, are you making some spicy tea somewhere? So they're very warming and very intense. Think of a cold day and how a cup of masala chai will really just warm you up from the tummy and your whole body, and you're feeling, oh yes. So these are oils that help stimulate energy and focus because they're sharp, they're crisp, they're penetrating, they're very lively oils, like literally pack a punch. And so if you need some passion and excitement and you need a rev up and you need some inspiration, go for a spiced oil. But you want to be careful because these oils tend to be very irritating on the skin in particular, and on the soft mucous membrane. So your mouth and your nose, they tend to be very irritating. Even when you're diffusing, what you would want to do, okay, so I do have a bottle of ginger right about here. What you'd want to do is you see this little dot? This is what you call the orifice reducer. So you want to put a toothpick in there and dip it and put that on your diffuser, because too much ginger is actually very irritating. Too much spice is actually very irritating on your skin, which is very sensitive. Let's talk about trees and woody oils. And so for those of us who've had an opportunity to go into a forest or been surrounded by trees, when you step into that environment, you really feel calm, you really feel held, you feel supported, you feel strengthened, sort of. And so tree oils take on the characteristic of trees in a forest. And so they're really deep, warm, lingering scents. They're earthy, they're mellow, they're masculine, they're mysterious. And because they have this sense of stability, and they're grounding and emotionally balancing in nature. So use these oils, and let the aeroplane pass 1 minute. Okay, I think that should be okay. So you want to use a tree oil when you want to feel stable, supported, secure, and comforted. And there are so many. You've got your cypress, Douglas fir, you've got Siberian fir, you've got some black spruce, you've got hinoki. There are a couple of oils whose work is just to kind of help you feel really stable and strengthened. When we think about roots and resins, and we think about the function of roots in a plant, roots, first of all, anchor a plant down into the soil. And then they go deep into the soil to pick up nutrients that are used to nourish the plant. And so root oils are woody, earthy, and warm in nature. And one characteristic is they're very musky. I remember the first time I smelled spikenard and I thought to myself, oh my God, what is that? So the initial scent is kind of a shock, but that it settled down, it becomes very alluring and very long lasting. And so because the work of root and resins is kind of to nourish the plant, they do the same thing to human beings. And these are reassuring, grounding, promoting relaxation in the sense of inner calm. And these oils are good, especially for meditation and quiet time. And so some examples of root oils would be patchouli, spikenard, a bit of vetiver, which are very deep and they have a lot of character to them. And then resin oils are oils that are derived from the sap of the tree, and their work really is to kind of heal the plant, heal the tree. So you have your frankincense, your copaiba, and you have your myrrh in this category. So just having a general understanding of these classifications of oils will help you know when to apply which oil to which situation. It's very general, like I said. So when you're getting into specifics of the oil is now to dig deep and kind of try and understand the individualizations of the oils so that it can help you a little bit better. We're now going to go into a very interesting section, which is where we're going to be talking about the science behind aromatherapy, scent, and mood. And then we're going to talk about 2 specific ways that you can use essential oils to help you manage your mood a little bit better. So the first thing to understand is exactly how do essential oils work in the human body. And I've mentioned that essential oils are like made up of tiny, tiny molecules. And these molecules are soluble they're lipid soluble in fat, which allows them to very easily cross the cell membrane in our bodies. And then there's another phenomenon that I think it's brilliant called biofeedback, where the cells in your body are able to communicate with the cells in the essential oils so that essential oils will know exactly where to go. So they will go where they are needed in your body. And so when I smell a bottle of essential oil, I open any bottle of essential oil and I smell it. It takes approximately 22 seconds for the essential oil molecules to get to my brain. And that is because your olfactory system, your sense of smell is the only sense in your body that has a direct relationship with your brain. And more specifically, the limbic system of your brain. And we're going to talk a bit about that in the next slide. But a few interesting timelines here. It takes 22 seconds for an essential oil to reach your brain from the time you open it and smell it. Within 2 minutes, the essential oils are in the bloodstream, and I've just explained that they're able to quickly pass through the cell membrane, and in 22 minutes they're in all cells of your body. So it's just the same way when you kind of rub some garlic, say at the bottom of your feet. In a couple of minutes you can feel it on your breath, which is very interesting. So let's explore aromatic use of essential oils. And the easiest way to do that is just to open a bottle of oil and smell it. So this is, in diagram form, a very simplified explanation of what happens when you open a bottle of essential oil and sniff through the bottle. So the essential oil or the molecules go through your olfactory nerve system and olfactory bulb and find its way to your brain. And in your brain, interact with your limbic system, your thalamus, your neocortex, your hypothalamus, and your pituitary gland. Of importance here is really to understand that that direct connection to the limbic system has an ability to affect our emotions and our moods. And that is how, actually our memory and our emotions. And that is how sometimes when you smell something on somebody, like, oh my goodness, that reminds me of my grandma, that reminds me of somebody I know, that reminds me of something bad or something good, depending on how your brain processed that scent at the time. And so for the emotional part, when you smell an oil, you're able to create a break or a pause in certain emotions, which give you an opportunity to choose again. So when you smell something like orange, which is very happy and very lively, almost immediately your brain correlates that, the smell of orange, with happiness. And so it just works immediately to bring about that shift. And you will find yourself, for example, smiling. Let me see if I do have a citrus oil, so grapefruit. Let's see if we can make that happen. So I'm not smiling. Let me try and keep that like that. There you go. I can't help but smile because grapefruit is a very beautiful and light and citrusy scent. And so in my brain, I already know, oh, yum, this is something really good. And it shows in my demeanor after that. And then the other interesting part is, you see, the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus are really also very key in managing certain body functions. And so you've got your thyroid gland, and you've got your adrenals, and your reproductive and digestive system. And so all that, excuse the dogs barking in the background. And so you also have your body, you have the oils acting on the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, and by extension, getting to act on all these other glands in your body. So the one way to do an oil aromatically, obviously, is through inhalation. I wonder what the disturbance is. And then the other way, and one of my favorite ways really, for you to take a self-care break to immediately shift your mood, is to take a drop of oil, just a drop, nothing more, nothing less, on your palms. Rub your palms together and cup your hands over your nose. In essence, creating what we call an aromatent. This is a very quick and easy method to kind of also shift your mood immediately. So the science is the same, because your essential oils are going to go through your nose and get directly into your brain, and then move into your bloodstream and eventually find themselves all around your body. You can also use a diffuser, and I have my diffuser going on over here. I prefer the electric diffuser because I don't have to think much about it. I just have to put it on the side and let it do its thing. All I do is I'm very careful about what kind of mood do I want to bring about. So if it is that I want to have focus, I can use something like lemon and peppermint. If it is that I just want general happy vibes, I would go for citrus. If it is that I want some sense of balance or stability, I would go for a wood oil. So what's currently in my diffuser is black spruce and white grapefruit, which is one of my favorite scent combinations. The other way is make a quick room spray where you take a spritz bottle, you take your favorite essential oils, either in singles or in combinations, top it up. Okay, put about a third of vinegar or rubbing alcohol, which will function as a dispersant because oils and water don't mix. Top it up with water, mix it nicely, and spray around the room. This works really well for bedroom sprays, for linen sprays, for bathroom sprays, and just generally room misting, you know. So aromatic use, which just involves anything that can bring that sense of, engage your sense of smell. Then we move on to topical use, which is using essential oils on your skin. So we know that the skin is the largest organ of our body. And so putting an oil on your skin, get it into your, onto your bloodstream, and from your bloodstream, it finds its way into your digestive system, your respiratory system, your endocrine system, your lymphatic system, your muscles and your joints, your cardiovascular system, your hormonal system, your parasympathetic system, your nervous system. So all these, provided your blood is flowing through your body, essential oils will find their way there. So let's just keep a look at, oh wow, okay. So where do you apply essential oils? Basically anywhere where you have a pulse point. So you've got your wrists, you've got your forearms, you've got your elbow creases, you've got your stomach, you've got your chest, you've got your temples, the back of the neck, back of the ears, you've got your throat, you've got your back of your knees, your bottoms of your feet. Another favorite place to apply essential oils really is along your spine. And the reason we do that is because your spine has 31 pairs of nerve endings which are connected to all parts of your body. So that's a way, rolling an oil or massaging an oil across your spine is a way of allowing oils to get through all through your body, right? So a good way to kind of figure out how to use oils that way is to open the oil, for example. So this is just a roller bottle which has an neroli in it. Sometimes you can do something like lavender, top it up with a carrier oil and put in a roller bottle. So a good way is to smell the oil and figure out where in your body does it want to be put. And so for me, I feel like it wants to settle, it's settling on my collarbone. So I'll roll it like that, right? And so this is an exercise in trusting your body and in trusting your nose and in trusting your intuition and understanding that oils and your body work hand in hand. My other favorite way to use oils, especially when going to bed, is to mustache myself like that. So I have the scent of the oil right under my nose as I'm sleeping. Okay, so you do your oils where you have your pulse points because these are gateways or meridians to your larger body systems. And so major nerves pass through there, so you're able to go through different parts of your body. You also use essential oils at the bottoms of your feet and massage it into the bottoms of your feet because that allows you to have access to different parts of your body, something to do with reflexology and acupressure. All right, so we have covered so far what oils are. We have talked about general guidelines of the different general classifications of essential oils and how you can know which oil to use to support you when. We have talked about the science behind mood and scent, and we have talked about the two ways that you can use essential oils to support your mood, aromatically and topically. Now, I just want to go through a couple of personal recommendations, oils that stand the test of time and oils that are just really good for mood support. I want to also just point out right now that I use doTERRA essential oils, and I have been using doTERRA for the past 5 years, And for me, I have had great success with these oils on a physical, emotional, and mental level. And so I trust the quality of the oils, which is very important when you're dealing with essential oils. I'd urge you to do your due diligence and do your homework so that you can understand and know the history behind the oils that you're using on your body for your well-being. One of the most important things for me as regards oils is being able to understand where do the oils come from. And I love that oils, doTERRA sources its oils where the plants grow best. So for example, we've got pink pepper, a bit of tea tree and cypress sourced right here in Kenya. We've got rose and lavender from Bulgaria. We have got turmeric from India. We've got wintergreen from Nepal. So from different regions of the world where the plants do best, which actually does have an overall effect on how the essential oils work. So one of my favorite oils is the introductory kit. This is a trio of lemon, lavender, and peppermint. And like we talked about peppermint earlier, it's very invigorating. So I would have this on hand to help me work during the day, or to help me start the day and to give me that like pep and just excitement to do work. We've got some lemon here. And lemon is the oil of focus. So if you've got a lot of heavy work that requires maximum concentration, I would have peppermint with a hint of, I would have lemon with a hint of peppermint going on in the diffuser as I work. Lavender is more suited for the evening. It's a brilliant oil, to just help you kind of unwind and relax. And that's primarily because it has linalool in it, which has been shown to be relaxing and calming. So you kind of want to use it in the evening when you want to kind of relax, use it in your shower, make a room spray, put a few drops on your pillow. And you don't want to overdo it, because when you overdo lavender, then it becomes stimulating. My other favorite mood boosting oils are actually blends, and blends are synergistically combined. One or two or three or four essential oils synergistically combined to make, to give you this harmony or this blend that is supposed to meet a certain purpose. And so some of my favorites include the Bree blend. Let me see if I can get that. And clearly this is one that I use a lot, and I love it for diffusing, and I also love it for the morning, especially when you wake up and you're feeling all stuffy and you just want to really open up your airways. So it's got eucalyptus, laurel leaf, peppermint, tea tree, lemon, cardamom, Ravinsara. These are all oils that are known to promote respiratory function and breathing. And so if you're feeling constricted and stuck, and like I said, you need a breather, try the Bree blend. Let's talk about balance, which is right here. I've never met anybody who doesn't like balance, actually. So it's a mix of florals and woody oils. It has spruce, it has frankincense, whole leaf, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus. Flowers for nurturing, trees for grounding. And you can use this either during the morning or the evening. And it's also really beautiful in the diffuser as well. We've got elevation. And this is a very happy oil. Like, it's a very happy blend. There's no other way to describe it. When you smell it, it just feels like happiness and joy. And so it has lavandin, it has tangerine, lavender, amiri. So it has citruses mixed with flowers, and yeah, mostly citruses mixed in with flowers. It has ilang ilang, it has hopewood, it has osmanthus flower, it has lemon myrtle, it has melissa leaf as well. It's a very joyful and happy blend, and I would have this going in areas where many people are there, so that you can just kind of bring that happy environment back. We've got the Serenity blend, which is really good for resting, and I prefer using this in the evening to help wind down. It has cocoa, it has chamomile, it has lavender. It's just a very beautiful, it's a very nice, deep but calming scent that's perfect for the evening. And then we have the Adaptive blend. This is one of my favorite blends by doTERRA, and it was released in 2019 in response to mental wellness concerns. When I open this oil, the first thing that really comes at me is magnolia and something that smells like bubble gum, which is actually sweet gum. It has orange, lavender, copaiba, spearmint, magnolia, rosemary, neroli, and sweet gum. So the combination of orange and neroli brings in the citrusy aspect. Magnolia and lavender both have high concentration of linalool, which is known to relax and really calm the body down. Copaiba is a resinous oil that's really, really useful for anxious feelings. And then you've got the sweet gum, and you've got rosemary, and you've got spearmint. So this is a very beautiful synergy for mental wellness. And I do have my own personal story and experience with it, which I'll share with you very briefly. So I got this oil in October last year, and I remember that time I was going through a really rough patch and I barely could do much. So the only thing I could do was open, because it was next to me, I could only open Adaptive, and I kept on smelling it. So the first day, I remember nothing much happened except that, I mean, the oil smelled good. I was like, okay, yeah. Then in the second day, I woke up and opened my curtains to let the sun shine in. And then the last on day 3, I woke up, drew my curtains, made my bed, and kind of got going. So it doesn't seem like much, but at the time, for somebody who did not feel like leaving the bed, that was a very, very big deal. And I also just want to point out right now that essential oils will not do the work for you, but they will just gently, it's like a gentle support to take you to where you need to be. And you have to be able to trust and to notice some of these effects. We also have the Healthy Essentials kit, which comes with a diffuser, which comes with lavender, peppermint, and lemon, which comes with Adaptive and Balance, which comes with copaiba, and has the addition of the Breathe blend, which I have shared, which has the addition of On Guard, which is really good for. On Guard is a mix of orange and rosemary and cinnamon and eucalyptus, and it's just very good for. It brings together these combinations of oils that are very good for general immune support. We have Deep Blue, which is good for muscles and joint pains and aches and stuff like that. And Digestion, which is a blend that has ginger, caraway, star anise, fennel, a bit of coriander, and this is especially good for digestive issues. It also does have some peppermint in it. All right, so how do you get access to these oils? Like I've said before, I deal only with doTERRA essential oils, and unfortunately they do not have a local office. So for us to get the oils, we have to import them from the United States. And so let's start from the beginning. If you want to use essential oils, but you have no clue where to start, or you're undecided, or you have too many options and you need some help narrowing down, speak with me and I will help you figure that out. We'll discuss based on your current wellness needs and figure out which options work best for you. Now, I do orders every single month, and I take orders on pre-order basis only. I don't have a physical shop. I don't stock extra oils. I only work with people who want oils so I can bring for you what you need. So for example, my next order period is on June 3rd. If you want to be part of my June order, speak to me before the end of May, so that your payment is in, so that I can do the necessary to make sure the orders are in by June 3rd. Now, normally it takes 21 days shipping, but because of the COVID situation, there have been some slight delays, but oils are still getting here. So that's some saving grace. All costs include everything about delivery. So when the oils get here, I will find you and deliver your oils to you. For those of us who are very serious about using essential oils more regularly and learning a bit more, talk to me about taking advantage of my 25% wholesale discount, which is available for people who are keen to use oils on a regular basis and want to make some decent savings out of it. That option is available. So yes, that brings me to the end of my presentation of this particular masterclass. I hope you've learned some useful ways to incorporate essential oils to help you manage your mood naturally. And if you want more information, or you've got some questions, or you just want to understand a bit more about oils, connect with me on Facebook, connect with me on Instagram, send me an email, call, or WhatsApp. I will answer. I answer all inquiries. I'm happy to connect with you, and I'm happy to, just help guide you through the process based on my experience and based on what I have learned and known about oils from all this time. So thank you for joining me. Let me see if I can just kind of stop the share here. And let's get back. So thank you for joining me for this session. And I hope to see you during the next wellness workshop. Keep an eye out. We've got exciting things planned for you together with Ikigai, and I'd be happy to have you on the next one. Until then, everybody, stay safe wherever you are. Stay well and look after yourself.